In this video, I'm going to run through all of the features and settings of the brand new Golf Buddy AIM W12 GPS golf watch. So we're starting off with the main watch display. Now, if you do want to change the different displays that you've got for the watches, you hold the screen there and then you can slide through all the different versions you've got. I think you've got about 8 or 9 off the top of my head. They're all a little bit, personally, not necessarily to my liking. That's why I generally stick with that one there. If you do want a slightly different watch face though as well, you can always slide down from the top and you get this more plain kind of display. It does show the battery life on it there too. Now, although this watch does track your step count if you want to, as well as some calorie information, it's not really a fitness or tracking watch in that kind of way. It doesn't have a heart rate monitor or anything like that. I haven't had to enter any details really to get that calorie information. Oh, just being attacked by a bumblebee. Ah! The girliest scream in the world there. This is really just a golf watch. So let's take a look at the golfing features. So to get there, you either tap the button on the sides. You've got the single button, which generally is to go back when you're in the golf mode, or you can slide across. But here we go. So you press play golf, and then it's going to search for the GPS signal. Now, the first time you use this watch, it is going to take quite a while to find that GPS signal. But the way that it works here is that it searches for your course, and then it will tell you to go to the first tee box. There you go, you can see there. So it's found the course, proceed to the tee box. It will vibrate once your course is found. And in a second, okay, so it didn't actually vibrate, but it's told me I'm at Worley Park and I'm on the 9-hole course, which I am. Okay, now it's vibrated. It's changed it over to hole 1, and you can see it starts you off with this whole layout. So it gives you the overview, and then it gives you a flyover, and then it goes back to the overview screen. Now, if you just want the front, middle, and back numbers, then you can swipe across there, and then that will give you the front, middle, and back. And you can see here that it's giving you a little indicator as well that it is factoring in slope. So if you want to turn that off, you can do that in the settings, which I'll show you shortly. You can see here that it's actually playing uphill, and so playing slightly longer. There's a few different things you can access from this screen. So first of all, if you tap on the top, you can change the hole. So you can see that it's telling you that you're on the first hole. Oh, it's gone back to that screen. There we go. It's on the first hole, and it's a par 3. So if you want to change the hole, then you tap there, and you can scroll and select a different hole. For now, we'll keep it on the first hole. On the bottom, that actually gives you a running total of your score. Now, because we've just started, you can see that it's currently sitting on 0, but you can tap that and you can get to your scorecard anytime by tapping that button there. And if you want to enter your scores, this is a par 3, sorry, so you can see here 3 is a par, 4 is a bogey, 5 is a double bogey. We'll keep going up and, let's see how high we can go. Okay, 18. Don't think I've ever shot an 18 before. Anyway, scroll that back down. Let's say I bogeyed that hole. You press OK, and then you select the number of putts that you took as well, and it's entered it there. Now, it still stayed on the first hole. You can see that here. So it seems that it always wants to take you back to this whole overview screen. This seems to be the main one for you. Now, there's a few things that you can do from it from here. First of all, you can see in terms of your hole layout. Now, because this is just a par 3, you've not got too much information, but you can see here that there are 2 bunkers greenside, and there's a little bit of fairway leading up to the green. And you can also see that you've got these rings showing that this is how far 50 yards out, 100 yards out, and 150 yards out. You've also got this plus button in the corner, so you can zoom in. Now, because it's a par 3, you can't zoom in too much, and so it just takes you straight to the green view mode. Now, if it's supported for your golf course, you can actually get these undulations showing a heat map on the green, showing you that it's higher at the back of the green, sloping down to lower at the front towards those 2 bunkers. If it was on a par 4, then you can zoom into the hole a little bit more and kind of move it about. I'll show you that shortly. If you want to as well from here, you can tap on the screen, and then you can see here that it will give you 125 yards to that point and then 52 yards to the flag. Now, annoyingly, you can't actually kind of move that about or drag it. You have to always tap it. There you go. You see that's how you move it about. And it can get a little bit fiddly on a longer hole. Using this watch earlier today, you can see here on a par 5, you can't zoom in and then use that tap feature. You actually have to just use it on the full hole layout. And when it's a par 5, gets a little bit fiddly. From this screen, if you swipe across to the left, then you get the shot distance. Now, this doesn't automatically start ticking, so you have to press that play button and then start walking towards your ball, and it will start calculating your shot distance, and then press stop, and then that's it. It doesn't record your shot distances or record your clubs that you hit in this watch. That's purely just for your information. You're not actually saving any of that data. The other thing to show you on this is if you scroll across twice, then you get to the hazard screen. Now, this is something that I found with the previous W11, and it seems to be the same with the W12 as well. It seems to miss some hazards depending upon how it has it mapped on the course. You can see here that it's telling me there are no hazards on this par 3, and yet when we scroll across, you can clearly see that it's recorded that there's 2 bunkers greenside, and you can see that there's 2 bunkers greenside here. If I just move this marker, there we go, there's those 2 bunkers. So it's a little bit odd that it's not giving you that information. However, if we go onto a different hole, so to do that, we're going to have to go across, change this, and let's say we change it to the second hole, which is a par 4. If we scroll across now, here we go. Now you can see a list of what the hazard screen looked like. So you can see here that you have got your list of hazards on the hole, and you can scroll up and down depending on what it shows. Another feature just to show you while we're on this par 4 hole is that you can see you've also got this red line here. Now that's because in the golf settings, I've selected that my driver distance is around 230 yards. So it's showing me where the radius of 230 yards is, so I can get an idea of what kind of trouble I could be bringing into play if I take driver off of that tee. Now just a quick note to say as well, you can see that this screen is flashing. Don't worry about that. This screen does not flash when you look at it. That's just because the frame rate of this camera is clashing with the refresh rate of the screen. Now when you get to the green, there is a setting on the watch which you can turn on or off, which will automatically pop up the scorecard mode. Now Golf Buddy didn't have that feature on the previous iteration of this watch, so that's a nice addition on the W12 because I just feel that all golf watches should really pop up with the scorecard when you get to the green to remind you to actually enter your score. So there you go. When you get to it, this is the screen that will pop up and you choose the score that you got as well as the number of putts that you took. Now to get to the golf settings on this watch while you're playing, you have to scroll across through the menus and then you get to this screen. So you can see here that you can change your units from yards to meters. You can turn slope mode on and off. You can turn Smart View on and off, so I believe that's the 50, 100 and 150 yard rings going around the hole. You can turn the hole preview on and off, so that means that when you get to the tee box, it gives you that little flyover shot of the hole. Now personally, don't really use that too much, I kind of forget that it's on. Touch IP stands for Touch Intersection Point, and so that's where you tap on the map and then it will give you the yardages to where you tap as well as the yardages to the middle of the hole, so you can turn that on and off. Automatic scorecard pop-up you can turn on and off. You can change the screen brightness as well. So I've got this on the brightest setting. Oh, I haven't, sorry, it goes up to 5. There we go, so you can have it on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. We'll keep it on 5. You've got a dimming mode as well, so it saves a little bit of battery in terms of the backlight not necessarily always being on. It will dim off after not being used for a little while. And it's also got a gyroscope in the watch too. So you can see here that you can keep the screen always on. In fact, when you select that, when always on, the screen brightness is adjusted to maximum of 3 due to increased battery uses. Fair enough. But what that means is that when you're looking away, the watch actually turns off, and then when you pull it back up, it turns back on again. So you can choose to turn that on or off. And there we go. At the bottom, you've also got tournament mode. So that means it will turn off all of the helpful features that aren't allowed when you play in a tournament. And then you can set your driver distance. There we go, so you can see I've got mine to about 230, and then that shows on that red ring on the map. Please hit the like button if you found this video helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can keep up to date on all my latest golf tech videos, including when I post my full review for this golf watch. If you are thinking about buying this watch, then I've included any links down in the description below, along with any discounts, so you can hopefully pick this up for less than retail price. And if you are looking to buy a golf watch, but aren't necessarily wanting to spend too much money, then why not check out my full comparison of all the golf watches that you can currently buy it for under £200, which you can find right here.